The weathered sign of the warehouse swings in the cold winter wind. It has been 7 years since his partner's death, yet the words Scrooge and Marley have not been changed. The partner who lives is as hard as flint and cold as steel. He wept not at that death 7 years ago. No laughter escapes his lips as he brushes past the children in the street. His wicked-looking walking stick assists not too kindly 2 small children from his path.
Ha! Humbug.
The KGW Players present Charles Dickens' classic A Christmas Carol, adapted for radio by Dennis Benson. The winter of 1843 is cold and friendless in London. The times are hard. The human cost of the Industrial Revolution is high. Jobs are scarce. It is a time of death sentences for many in debtors' prisons and workhouses for undernourished children. The rich become richer, while the poor suffer.
Ebenezer Scrooge is wealthy and convinced that he deserves his good fortune. The single vision of this businessman permits no room for the folly of others. All emotional expression is for those who let it lead their lives to ruin and poverty. There is no nonsense in the life of Ebenezer Scrooge. He is an island. He needs no one, and no one needs him. On a particular Christmas Eve, he sits in his sparse office. The door to the counting room is left ajar. He keeps a constant eye on the thin man bent over the accounting books. Bob Cratchit shifts position on his stool. The room is cold and clammy. He tries to warm his hands at a candle. Mr. Scrooge does not permit more than a faint coal to burn at any given time in the small stove.
Too much heat makes the workers lazy. Cold rooms make for heated employees.
With the thick blanket of fog protecting his world, Scrooge is not prepared for the bold young man who springs into his office.
Merry Christmas, Uncle! God save you!
Ah, humbug.
Christmas? A humbug, Uncle? You can't mean that.
I do mean that. Merry Christmas. What right have you to be merry? Why would you be merry? You're poor enough.
Come then, what right have you to be dismal? What reason have you to be morose? You're rich enough.
Humbug.
Don't be angry with me, Uncle.
Well, what else can I be when I live in such a world of fools as this? What kind of Merry Christmas can it be for you? Only a time for you to pay bills with no money, time for finding yourself a year older and not an hour richer. If I could have my way, every idiot who goes about with Merry Christmas on his lips should be boiled in his own pudding and buried with a stake of holly through his heart, he should.
Uncle!
Nephew, keep Christmas in your way and let me keep it in mine.
Keep it, but you don't keep it.
Much good it's done for you. Much good Christmas has ever done for anyone.
There are many things from which I might have derived good, by which I have not profited, I dare say, Christmas among the rest. But I am sure that I have always thought of Christmas time when it has come round, apart from the veneration due to its sacred name and origin. It is a good time, a kind, forgiving, charitable, pleasant time, the only time I know of in the long calendar of the year, when men and women seem by one consent to open their shut-up hearts freely, and to think of people below them as if they really were fellow passengers to the grave. And therefore, Uncle, though it has never put a scrap of gold or silver in my pocket, I believe that it has done me good and will do me good. And I say, God bless it.
One more outbreak by you, Cratchit, and you'll celebrate your Christmas by losing your job.
Don't be angry, Uncle. I have come to invite you to dine with us tomorrow.
Why? Why did you get married?
Because I fell in love.
Because you fell in love. Good afternoon.
I want nothing from you. I ask nothing of you. Why cannot we be friends? We've never had any quarrel to which I've been a party. I'll keep my Christmas spirit to the last. So a Merry Christmas, Uncle.
Humbug.
Merry
Good
Christmas,
afternoon.
Cratchit.
Oh, great, there's another one, my clerk. Makes 15 shillings a week, with a wife and a family to support. Enough to drive a man crazy. fool Nephew let you in. Mr. Marley's been dead these 7 years, died 7 years ago this very night.
Well, I have no doubt that his liberality is well represented by his surviving partner. You see, Mr. Scrooge, at this festive season of the year, it is more than usually desirable that we should make provision for the poor and destitute who suffer greatly at this time.
Well, are there no prisons?
Oh, there are plenty of prisons.
And the workhouses, are they still in operation?
They are. Still, I wish I could say they were not.
Well, I was afraid that something had occurred to stop them in their useful course.
Well, a few of us are endeavoring to raise a fund to buy the poor some meat and drink and a means of warmth. What shall I put you down for, Mr. Scrooge?
Nothing.
You wish to be anonymous?
I wish to be left alone. I don't make merry myself at Christmas, and I can't afford to make idle people merry either. Prisons and workhouses are good enough.
But many can't go there. Many would rather die.
Well, if they'd rather die, then they'd best do it and decrease the surplus population. Good afternoon, sir.
We'll continue with Act 2 of Charles Dickens' The Christmas Carol on 62 KGW right after this.
62 KGW's Christmas Choice is underway, and your chance to win great holiday gifts is coming up when you hear Santa give you the cue to call. Be the 8th caller at 1-800-452-0062 or from Portland at 733-5062, and you're guaranteed one of the neatly wrapped presents from under our tree, from Santa's bag, or from his sleigh. The choice is yours, because it's the Christmas Choice from 62 KGW. Just listen for Santa, okay?
Happy holiday from 62 KGW.
Home for the holidays, a phrase that holds a special meaning for every one of us. Friends and relatives gathered comfortably together in the warmth of our homes to reflect on holidays past and create memories for holidays yet to come. It's the very best kind of spirit, and the people at Smith's Home Furnishings are proud to provide a small part of it through the products they sell. A very Merry Christmas and Happy Holiday Season from everyone at Smith's Home Furnishings.
The special live radio drama, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol, starring all of the 62 KGW personalities, continues in the offices of Scrooge and Marley.
The cold fog thickens outside the ancient windows of Scrooge's warehouse. The hour of shutting up the office has arrived. Scrooge walks into the counting room. Cratchit is putting on his coat.
Well, I suppose you'll be wanting all day off tomorrow.
If quite convenient, sir.
Well, it's not convenient, it's not fair either. A poor excuse for picking a man's pocket every 25th of December. And I suppose you must have the whole day, then be here all the earlier next morning.
Well, thank you, Mr. Scrooge.
Scrooge follows his accustomed path this Christmas Eve. After a cold meal at the seedy tavern where he stops each night, he makes his way through the fog-bound streets of London. The night is so dark that even with total familiarity with each stone of his yard, he approaches his door with difficulty.
I'll just find my key here. What is that? My knocker looks strange. It must be the fog. I thought I saw the face of Marley in it. Ah, humbug, it's the fog. I'll just light this candle here. I'll also double lock my room, too. No use taking any chances with so many scamps about. Good. There's a small fire in the fireplace there. What? Is that Marley's face in the shadows of the flame? No! No, humbug. What is that? That bell, it hasn't been used for years. The noise is downstairs. Humbug, no one can get into my chamber with the double locks engaged. What? Someone has walked right through the closed door. Now, it's humbug still. I won't believe it. Wait, I know him. Marley's ghost? I'd know him anywhere. He's wearing the clothes I last saw him wear. How now? What do you want with me?
I want much with you.
Who are you?
Ask me who I was.
Who were you then?
In life, I was your partner, Marley, Jacob Marley. You don't believe in me?
I don't.
Why do you doubt your senses?
Well, it could just be a bit of undigested meat, a blot of mustard, a crumb of cheese.
You want to see undigested meat? Let me unwind these bandages on my head.
Oh no! The flesh is falling from your flesh! Mercy, dreadful apparition, why do you trouble me?
Man of the worldly mind, do you believe in me? Or not?
I do, I must, but why do spirits walk the earth, and why do they come to me?
It is required of every man that the spirit within him should walk abroad, among his neighbors, and travel far and wide. If that spirit goes not forth in life, it is condemned to do so after death. It's doomed to wander through the world. Oh, woe is me, and witness what it cannot share, but might have shared on earth, and turned to happiness.
You are fettered. Tell me why.
I wear the chain I forged in life. I made it link by link, yard by yard, tape by tape. Is its pattern strange to you? Don't you know the weight and length of the strong coil you bear yourself? It was full, as heavy, and as long as mine 7 Christmases ago. You have added to your chain since then, you pig.
Jacob, old friend, tell me no more. Offer me words of comfort, Jacob.
I have none to give. I have only a short time with you.
Good.
I cannot rest. My spirit never walked beyond our counting house, and now weary journeys lie before me. Oh, captive bound in double iron, not to know that no space of regret can make amends for one's life's opportunities misused. Yet such was I.
But you were always such a good man of business, Jacob.
Business! Human suffering has been my business. The common welfare should have been my business. Charity, mercy, forbearance, and benevolence. Hear me, my time is nearly gone.
I will, but don't be hard upon me.
I am here tonight to warn you that you have yet a chance in hope of escaping my fate. A chance in hope of my procuring Ebenezer.
Oh, thank you.
You will be haunted by 3 spirits. I guess 3 spirits is enough, right, Jacob?
I would think so.
My name is Jacob, your name is Scrooge. Get that straight, will you? Without their visits, you cannot hope to shun the path I tread. Expect the first tomorrow when the bell tolls 1. Look to see me no more, and look that, for your own sake, you will remember what has passed between us.
The apparition walks backward away from Scrooge. It warns him not to come any closer. The spectre moves through the window into the night fog. Scrooge is shaken. He examines the door of his chamber. The door is still double-locked. He falls onto his bed and falls into a restless sleep, fully dressed.
What? Could I have spent until the whole next day? It was after 12 when I went to sleep. The spirit said that it would be 1 when the first of, well, my visitors would come.
The curtains to Scrooge's bed opened by a force other than human. The trembling faces a visitation from a childlike creature with an unearthly nature. The appearance continually fluctuates. Its figure seems to have 1 arm, now 1 leg, now with 20 legs, now a pair of legs without a head. Its body form fades and then becomes distinct.
You are the spirit whose coming was foretold to me?
I am...
Who and what are you?
I am the ghost of Christmas past. Your past. Rise. Walk with me.
Well, I cannot walk out the window. I'm a mortal and liable to fall.
Touch my hand here, and you shall be upheld in more than this.
Good heaven! I am floating through the fog. What is that? I see the place where I was raised. I was a boy here. I know the street.
Your lip is trembling. And what is that upon your cheek?
Why, I can walk the street blindfolded.
Strange that you have forgotten it for so many years. Let us go on.
I know that gate. The cart of the baker I know well. The people there, they're all well known.
These are but shadows of the things that have been. They have no consciousness of us. There is the school. It is not quite deserted. A solitary child, neglected by his friends, is left there still. He is crying.
Why, there's the parrot. There's old Robinson Crusoe when he came home again after sailing round the island. Poor old Robinson. Where have you been, Robinson Crusoe? Why, there goes Friday, running for his life to the little creek. Hello! Hello! Poor boy. He had only his dreams to keep him company. I wish... No, it's too late.
What is the matter?
Well, nothing. Nothing. There's a boy singing a Christmas carol at my door. I should like to have given him something, I guess.
Let's see another Christmas.
Scrooge sees the room transform before his eyes. It becomes darker and very dirty. Again, a young boy is seen alone. His classmates have gone home and he is left behind. A very young girl breaks into the room. She throws her arms around the startled boy.
My dear brother, I have come to bring you home.
Home, little fan?
Yes, home for good and all. Home for ever and ever. Father is so much kinder than he used to be. He spoke so gently to me one dear night that I was not afraid to ask him once more if you might come home.
You're quite a woman, little fan. So she had.
She died a woman and had, as I remember, children.
Well, one child.
True, your nephew.
Yes.
Touch my hand again. There is more to see.
The scene is transformed once again. This time, a warm, simple home hearth fills Scrooge's vision.
It's Christmas at old Feeswig's. This is where I was apprenticed. It's old Feeswig. Bless his heart. It's Feeswig alive again. Why, it's Christmas Eve. He always gave such a splendid party. Why, there's his family and the other apprentices. Yo-ho, lads! Shut up! We would dance and have such a fine meal. Oh, how we'd dance. How we loved that man.
Why should he be so well liked? He just spent a small bit of his money.
Well, it isn't that, Spirit. It's that he had the power as our master to render us happy or unhappy, to make our service light or burdensome, a pleasure or a toil. The happiness he gives is quite as great as if it cost a fortune. Like, he could shape...
What is the matter?
Well, nothing particular. I should like to be able to say a word or two to my clerk just now. It's all.
My time grows short. Come, we have yet another Christmas past to visit.
Oh, no, it's Belle, my beloved.
It matters little to you, very little. Another idol has displaced me, and if it can cheer and comfort you in time to come, as I would have tried to do, I have not just cause to grieve. You have your golden idol of business. I will not see you again.
Spirit, show me no more. Conduct me home. Why do you delight in tormenting me? I don't wish to see it. Show me no more. Remove me. I cannot bear it.
Scrooge was cast back into his bed, he immediately fell into a great sleep. Scrooge awakes with a start. He looks for the next visitor. He can see no one in the room. He puts on his slippers and moves to the door. His hand is on the lock when a strange voice calls to him.
Scrooge! I'm here.
Come into the room. I am the ghost of Christmas present.
Conduct me where you will.
Touch my robe.
They sailed over the busy city. The smells, sounds, and sights reflect preparation for Christmas. Many of the people are poor, yet the atmosphere is special. The spirit of Christmas present lifts his torch and touches the senses before him. Where quarrels are about to break, there is suddenly restoration of good humor.
Would you give particular blessing to any kind of a dinner on this day?
To any kindly given, to a poor dinner most.
But why to a poor one most?
Because it needs it most. Here is a place I will bless.
Why, it's Bob Cratchit's dwelling. Think of that. Bob had but 15 bob a week himself, and yet the ghost of Christmas present blessed his 4-room house. Look at the happiness of that family. See how the children greet their father. Bob appears to be a different person than what I can see at work. Tiny Tim rides on his father's shoulders. Why, they've been to church.
And how did little Tim behave?
As good as gold, and better. He gets the strangest thoughts, though. You know, he told me coming home that he hoped that people saw him in the church because he was a cripple. And it might be pleasant to them to remember upon Christmas Day who made the lame beggars walk and blind people see.
Let's eat the wonderful goose!
Spirit, tell me if Tiny Tim will live.
I see a vacant seat in the poor chimney corner, and a crutch without an owner. If these shadows remain unaltered by the future, the child will die.
No, say he will be spared.
Let's toast the founder of the feast, Mr. Scrooge.
The founder of the feast, indeed. I wish I had him here. I'd give him a piece of my mind to feast upon, and I hope he'd have a good appetite for it.
My dear, the children. It's Christmas Day.
On Christmas Day, should one toast the health of such an odious, stingy, hard, unfeeling man as Mr. Scrooge? Nobody knows it better than you do, poor fellow.
My dear, it's Christmas Day.
I'll drink his health for your sake in the days, not for his. Long life to him, a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. He'll be very merry and very happy, I have no doubt.
The live radio presentation of Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol performed by the 62 KGW air staff will continue in just a minute.
Hi, this is John Williams. As we get closer and closer to Christmas, I just wanted to take a minute and thank all of you who have stopped in at Safeway and purchased our 62 KGW Christmas album. And if you haven't, I'd like to ask you again for your help. This year we've created the John Williams Children's Fund, with all the profits from the Christmas album going to the Albertina Kerr Centers for Children. Now, I also thought you'd like to know what some of the money will be used for. Hopefully, we're going to have enough money to buy a new wheelchair lift for their van. Shower chairs. Shower chairs enable children who don't have the use of their lower bodies to take showers instead of baths. And perhaps water beds. 5 to 6 water beds are needed to replace old hospital beds. So help us if you can. Stop by a Safeway store, find the 7-Up display, and purchase the 62 KGW Christmas album. All profits go to the Albertina Kerr Center for Children. I'm John Williams, and I'm wishing you a Merry Christmas.
And now the conclusion of the special holiday live radio drama, Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol on 62 KGW.
Scrooge was back in his room after the departure of the spirit Christmas present. He was not prepared for the coming of the third spirit. He was emotionally drained. He had been so touched by so many scenes. The last phantom came to him slowly, gravely, silently. When it came near, Scrooge bent down upon his knee. It was shrouded in a deep black garment, which concealed its head, its face, its form.
I am in the presence of the ghost of Christmas yet to come. You are about to show me shadows of the things that have not yet happened, but that will happen in time before us. Is that so, Spirit?
No response came from the ghost before him. A terror filled Scrooge.
Ghost of the future, I fear you more than any spectre I have seen. Will you not speak to me? I will follow. Just lead me through this dreaded journey.
The city seemed to spring up around Scrooge and his ghostly visitor. They stopped next to two businessmen in conversation.
I don't know much about it either. I only know he's dead.
Really? And when did he die?
Last night, I believe. It's likely to be a very cheap funeral. I don't know of anybody who would go to it.
I don't mind going if a lunch is provided.
Spirit, this man was not much loved. He seems a most unhappy and lonely man. I see people in his rooms. But why? Why, they're stripping his property of all goods.
The spirit beckons Scrooge to a dark room. He points a bed. There is someone on it. Scrooge moves closer to the chamber.
Spirit, this is a fearful place. In leaving it, I shall not leave its lesson. Trust me, let me go. I understand you. I know that you want me to look at that in the face. I'd do it too if I could. But I have not the power, Spirit. I simply have not the power.
The spirit waves its garment, and the scene is transformed into the Cratchit's room. Only this time, it is very quiet. The children sit as still as statues in one corner. Mrs. Cratchit puts down her work.
The light hurts my eyes. I don't want to have red eyes when your father returns.
I think Father is walking a little slower than he used to these last few evenings, Mother.
I've known him to walk with Tiny Tim upon his shoulders very fast indeed, but he was very light to carry, and his father loved him so that it was no trouble, and there's your father at the door.
The two young Cratchits embraced their father, as if they were saying, "Don't be so grieved, Father." Bob Cratchit tried to be cheerful.
I walked to the park today. I wish you could have gone. It would have done you so much good to see how green a place it is. I promised him that I would walk there on Sunday. Oh, my little child. My little child.
Your time is coming to an end, Spectre. Tell me, who is that man lying dead on the bed?
Scrooge was pointed to a graveyard.
Before I look at the stone, will all these things happen as I have seen?
The spirit was immovable as ever. Scrooge crept toward the tombstone, trembling as he went. He found the neglected stone. It contained two words: Ebenezer Scrooge.
And I was that man who lay upon the bed? No, Spirit, oh no, Spirit, hear me. I am not the man I was. I will not be the man I must have been. I will honor Christmas in my heart and try to keep it all the year, and I will live in the past, the present, the future. Oh, tell me I may sponge away the writing on this stone.
The ghost melted into the bedpost. Scrooge was suddenly in his own room. He was back in his own time.
The spirits of the past, the present, and the future shall strive within me. Oh, Jacob Marley, heaven and Christmas time be praised for this. I must get dressed. I don't know what to do. I'm as light as a feather. I'm as happy as an angel. I'm as merry as a schoolboy. Oh, Merry Christmas to everybody. A Happy New Year to the world. I don't know how long I've been among the spirits. I don't know anything. I must get this window open. Oh, what a glorious day! The sun is shining. There's no mist or fog. You, boy, down there! What is today?
Eh?
What's today, my fine fellow?
Today? Why, it's Christmas Day.
It's Christmas Day. Do you know the poulterers in the next street?
Well, I should hope so.
An intelligent boy, a remarkable boy. Do you know whether they've sold the prize turkey that was hanging up down there, the big one?
The one as big as me?
What a delightful boy. Pleasure to talk to him, yes. My fine fellow.
It's hanging there now.
Go and buy it, and tell them to bring it here, and I will give them direction where to take it. Come back with the man, and I'll give you a shilling. Come back with him in less than 5 minutes, and I'll give you half a crown. I'll send it to Bob Cratchit's. He won't even know who sent it.
And was in the process of getting a cab when he noted a familiar figure.
My good man, didn't you stop and ask for a contribution earlier? I must apologize for my response to you during your visit.
Why, yes.
Well, if you lean just a bit closer, I'll whisper the amount of my donation.
My dear Mr. Scrooge, are you serious? Oh, I don't know how to thank you for your generosity.
Scrooge took a cab to the address he knew well. Yet it was hard for him to enter the plain doorway. He passed the door a dozen times.
I must go into my nephew's house.
Yes?
Fred!
Why, bless my soul. Welcome to my table, Uncle.
Scrooge was early at the office next morning. He wanted to catch Bob Cratchit late at his desk, and he did it. The clock struck 9. No Bob. He was full 18 minutes late. Bob rushed into the room and hit his stool in a flash.
What do you mean by coming in here at this time of day?
I'm very sorry, sir. I am behind my time.
Yes, I think you are. Step this way, if you please.
It's only once a year, sir. It shall not be repeated. I was making rather merry yesterday, sir.
Now, I'll tell you why, my friend. I'm not going to stand for this sort of thing any longer, and therefore, I am about to raise your salary. A Merry Christmas, Bob. A Merry Christmas, Bob, my good fellow, that I've given you for many a year. I'll raise your salary and endeavor to assist your struggling family. Make up the fires and buy another coal scuttle before you dot another I, Bob Cratchit.
Scrooge was better than his word. He did it all, and infinitely more. And to Tiny Tim, who did not die, he was a second father. He became a good citizen. He had no further experience with spirits. It was always said of him that he knew how to keep Christmas well. May that be truly said of us, and all of us. And so, as Tiny Tim observed, God bless us, everyone.
Charles Dickens' A Christmas Carol has been a special live radio drama by the 62 KGW Players, starring Corky Corson as Scrooge, Steve the Pig Lloid as Marley, Mike Rich as Cratchit, Russ Lorenzini as the nephew and the boy, Scott Tom as the charity person, Brian Matthews as the first spirit and the first man, Bill Stevens as the second man, Joel Frank as the second spirit, and Marie Dodds as Mrs. Cratchit, Belle, and Fan. Your narrators have been Joanne McCall and yours truly, Bill Stevens. A Christmas Carol was produced and directed by Rick Sadle and Kevin Riley. Adapted for radio by Dennis C. Benson. With best wishes for a rich and wonderful holiday season and a happy, prosperous new year. On behalf of the entire staff and management of 62 KGW, good night.
Happy trails to you until we meet again. Happy trails to you. Keep smiling until Who cares about the clouds if we're together? Just sing a song and bring the sunny weather. Happy trails